Hello, it is I, Dragon Souped, also known as Saltasaur in-game, spelled S-A-L-T-S-A-U-R. In this video, I'll be talking about Minecraft's latest snapshot for the 1.17 Caves and Crypts update, 21W13A. Now, let's get right into the video. To start things off, several changes have been made to the game's blocks, items, and mobs, alongside world generation. Make sure to check out my other videos on the previous Minecraft 1.17 snapshots, as a lot of these changes are made to additions from the previous snapshots. Starting with block changes, candles can now be extinguished using splash and lingering water bottles. Flowering azaleas and flowering azalea leaves are now considered small flowers by the game. This means that they can now be used to craft suspicious stew, though they don't currently give any effects, and bees will now pollinate these blocks. In addition, growing a sapling next to these blocks can result in the tree growing a bee nest. Rooted dirt, in a similar fashion, is now considered a variant of dirt by the game. This means that shovels will be able to break these blocks faster and create grass paths out of them. Most plants will be able to grow on this block, and endermen will also be able to pick up this block as well. To reflect these changes, rooted dirt now appears next to other dirt variants while in the creative inventory. Texture corrections have also been made to a good portion of the game's non-solid blocks, those being crops, lightning rods, chains, ladders, vines, go lichen, and many other blocks. And finally, for block changes, powder snow has had several adjustments from the previous snapshots. Powder snow is now slightly harder to break, and the freezing effect from this block now kicks in at 7 seconds and does damage every 2 seconds. In addition, mobs and players will now fall faster through powder snow than before, making it much harder to escape. Players and mobs within powder snow will also shake as well. The freezing effect also affects mobs differently. Blazes, magma cubes, and striders now take increased freeze damage, while polar bears, strays, and snow golems are now completely unaffected by freeze damage. Mobs that aren't immune to freeze damage now no longer spawn on powder snow, and mobs that are on fire alongside players will melt powder snow upon contact. Moving on to item changes, leather boots now prevent fall damage when landing on powder snow, and leather horse armor now protects from freezing damage. And finally, for item changes, suspicious stew can now be consumed while at full hunger. As for mob changes in this snapshot, axolotls and glow squids now spawn naturally in Minecraft worlds, typically spawning underground in flooded caves. Axolotls also now have different behavior as well. Axolotls will now always target underwater hostile mobs without needing to be provoked. However, they now have a 2-minute cooldown period between passive mob kills. Axolotls will now keep their color, name tag, and health when stored in a bucket, and they will now give regeneration 1 and cure mining fatigue from nearby players every time they kill a mob. Some more minor mob changes have also been made in this snapshot. Guardians and zombies now drop the respective cooked variants of any foods that they drop when killed with fire aspect, and mason villagers will now sell dripstone alongside wandering traders. which will also now sell rooted dirt and moss blocks. Several changes have also been made to the game's world generation as well. Caves now feature less pillars, but are now more likely to be larger, and patches of deep slate, as well as dripstone, can now spawn across regular caves. Copper ore now generates between Y levels 0 and 63, and diamonds are now slightly more common. And finally, gold berries can be found in mineshafts, and the new moss blocks can also be found occasionally in shipwrecks as chest items. Moving on to new additions in this snapshot. A new block alongside a new mob have been added to the game. The white block is a new command-only block that is invisible unless holding its respective item. This block, as its name suggests, gives off light, which can be adjusted by right-clicking it, and can be passed through and waterlogged, making it extremely easy to hide within builds. Light blocks are obviously not obtainable in survival modes, but are instead meant for builders in creative modes. As for the new mob, goats, a 10 health neutral mob, have been ported over to Java Edition. These mobs can be led around using wheat, and can also be bred using the same item. These animals will spawn wandering aimlessly in mountain biomes, and are able to jump up to 10 blocks high to cross large gaps. However, they currently don't drop anything in Java Edition, and they won't attack the player, unlike in Bedrock Edition. It is assumed, however, that they will gain this functionality in the future snapshots. Finally, for this snapshot, various bug fixes have been made to the game, with more to come in future snapshots. Well, that's all I have for this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to check out my other videos too. This is DragonStuped, signing out.